Hey there and welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. My name is Andrew, and in today's episode we're talking about setting up your first gig on Fiverr. If you've never set up a gig on Fiverr, then stick around because today I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do for your first gig. Now, in the previous episode, I showed you how to create your account. Today, I'm showing you how to set up the first actual gig for you to start generating some revenue. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. Click that bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. If you're a member of the consulting crew, welcome back. Hope you enjoy today's episode. Let's get to it. As I said, welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. In today's episode, we're talking about setting up your first gig on Fiverr. Whether you're doing audio and video stuff, book related, whether you're editing, proofreading, any kind of freelance work can be done on Fiverr. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, we're on the first page for setting up your Fiverr gig. And at the top of the screen, you have your primary dashboard items. And then you have a few things underneath that to let you know exactly where you're at in the process. So let's start off with the primary dashboard items. Currently, you're on the dashboard. Next to that is messages, then orders, then gigs, then analytics, earnings, community, and then the more button. And then far off to the right, you have switch to buying. Underneath that is your progress bar for setting up your gig, and you start out on overview, then you go to pricing, then description and frequently asked questions, requirements, followed by gallery, publish, and then you have save and preview. Below that, in the center of the page, you have gig title, and then you also have a clickable button for upgrade SEO, but we're not worried about the SEO upgrade. And then in your top section here, you hurry up and you put in a small little intro like title of what you're going to do, whether you're going to proofread and give feedback, whether you're going to edit and format, you're going to make a logo, going to do an intro, whatever it is you're going to do. That's what the title section is for, and it's limited on the amount of words you can have, so it needs to be short and sweet and straight to the point. If I remember correct, it's a 15-word limit. Then underneath that, you get to the category selection, which is a drop-down menu. As you can see on mine, I just did real quick video and animation, but there are like 20 different categories you can choose from. And when you do this, this is also going to minimally change up the way that the gig platform list for designing this is going to be, but generally speaking, it doesn't change all that much. That's why I went this route. Underneath the selector, you have suggested categories, which for my selected one is video and animation / video editing, video and animation, intros and outros, videos and animations, short video ads. And underneath that, you have gig metadata. And on the left hand side, you can see it says intro, outro type. Underneath that, it says video file format. On the right hand side, it says select this type of service you provide. And it says not defined, YouTube channel intro, call to action outro, and then title sequence, and then underneath that you also have the ability of suggesting another option. Then underneath that you have your search tags, and you're also limited on these. You can only have up to 5 tags. So for this demonstration, I used YouTube intro, outro, and transitions. It also has a notification underneath that that says, please note some categories require that sellers verify their skills. And then underneath that, you have the cancel button on the left hand side, and then you have the save and continue button on the right. So click save and continue. And now we're at scope and pricing. There's a notification at the top that says you can now offer buyers delivery options for up to 90 days. Go ahead and update your gig. Underneath that notification, it says packages. And as you can see, there's a basic, standard, and premium. Each of these categories is designated into a third slot. So underneath basic, all the basic options are there straight down the line. You go over, it's the same thing for each of them. It does not go click on this one and fill it out and click on this one and fill it out. All three of them are right there on your screen from left to right, basic, standard, and premium, and then all your options for each category go underneath. So now for each of these categories, you need to give them a subtitle. Basically, they want to know what these packages are going to be called besides just basic, standard, and premium. That way you can give a little bit of detail of what they are and what they're going to include. For instance, my basic is a minimalist, intro, outro, and transitions. The standard is a basic, intro, outro, or transition. And then the premium is premium, intro, outro, and transition. And then underneath that, you give a brief description of what it is you're going to offer for each plan. Underneath that is the delivery time, and you can select anywhere from 1 day up to 90 days. Underneath that, you have checkboxes. In the case of video and animation, you have the overlay text, you have add a logo and transparent background, add music, add sound effects, custom design. video footage, if you're going to use stock footage or footage provided by the customer. And then underneath those, you have the next option, which is revisions. And you can designate how many times you are willing for that price point to go through and rework that package that you're doing. This way, if you have a specific color and they don't like it, they want it to be changed, or maybe they want a different picture or background music or whatever it may be, you can go in that one time or however many times you designate and fix that to the point to where the customer is happy. And of course, you do not have to provide revisions. It's just an added benefit to make your customers happier. So instead of them paying you, we'll say $20 to do an intro, and they're just stuck with whatever you give them. And then underneath that, you have your price point. How much are you going to charge for each of these different packages? I just hurried up and did this for hypothetical reasons to do this demonstration. So the basic or minimalist was at 20, the standard is 30, and the premium is 50. Of course, your price points are going to be whatever you want. Underneath that, you have add extras. And there's a note that says increase revenue by offering demand services at an additional fee. Extra fast delivery. Basic, standard, and premium. You can designate each one. If they want extra fast delivery, how much extra time are they going to get it, and how much extra are they going to have to pay for it? And then you can have add-on features like overlay text, added logos, added sound effects, added footage, added music, pretty much all the same options they gave you before that would have already been included in the price. Now you have that option, if they were not already included, to be added on as an additional charge. And then at the very bottom, you can add an extra gig of your own for this particular setup instead of whatever is listed. If you have something more specific that is not listed, you can click on add gig extra, and then you can give it a title and the information that goes along with it, the additional cost, the amount of time it will take you, and all that good stuff. And then underneath that, again, like before, cancel is on the left and continue is on the right. As you can see here, the additional add-on to the gig requests a title, a description, the amount, an additional time frame, and the title has a maximum of 20 characters, and then you can add additional information into your description later. Save and continue. Now we're on to the description of your gig. The first option is your text area. You can make make your text bold, italic. You can highlight them. You can add bullet points or number them. And then you give your description of what it is exactly you're going to do. As you can see, there's a nice lengthy description of the service I would offer. And then underneath that is frequently asked questions. If you're somebody who has been freelancing or doing this service for a while, or get emailed or messaged on, we'll say, your social media about how does this work, how does that work, you could put those kind of questions into the frequently asked area with your answers, so that way you're not getting blown up on Fiverr with the same questions of how much extra does it cost for this, or is it possible to add that, or what if I'm not happy, will you redo it, whatever. And then underneath that, like before, is the cancel on the left and the save and continue on the right. As you scroll over these sections on the far right hand side of the screen, it will give you a description in a little bit more detail of each of the sections and what they're requesting. Now the next section is your questions for the customer. As you can see here, it says get all the information that you need from buyers to get started. Add a question to help buyers provide you with exactly what you need to start working on their order. So for this example, I just put a couple quick multiple choice questions, and then you can have multiple questions. As you can see, I just hurried up and did 3. And again, you have the cancel on the left and the save and continue on the right. The next section is showcase your services in a gig gallery. Encourage buyers to choose your gig by featuring a variety of your work. To comply with Fiverr's terms of service, make sure to upload only content you either. So if you don't own it, you can't use it, and if you have licensing to use something, then you're all right. But no copyright infringement, more or less. They want you to upload a video, and you can only have one only. Capture buyer's attention with a video that shows your service. Please choose a video shorter than 75 seconds or 1 minute and 15 seconds and smaller than 50 megabytes. And then add up to 3 images, as well as upload a PDF showcasing your work, up to 2 PDFs, and then underneath that you have a checkbox that says that you declare that you are the copyright owner or have permission to use the images and products that you're submitting. Underneath that you have cancel on your left and save and continue on the right. On the next screen, you're almost there. Complete the following requirements to start selling. the next thing is it's asking you if you need to fill out a W-9. And if you're in the United States, then yes, you will be required to fill out a W-9 tax form, which will more or less state that this is your name, your address, your social security number, all your tax information. So that way, at the end of the year, Fiverr can send you a tax return form that will state how much money you made through Fiverr doing your gigs. That way, you can claim them on your taxes. Fiverr will not withhold taxes for you. You will get paid the full amount minus their fee, and then you will be responsible for paying the taxes on all the money that you've earned. Now, that means if you are on disability, you still are required to report any monies received within 10 days of receiving them. And then on top of that, you will be required to pay taxes on that income at the end of the year when it comes to tax time by April 15th of every year. And if you're on disability, you already know that's going to be a pain in the butt. If you're somebody that does not already file taxes, it means you will start filing taxes. If you're on disability and you make a fair amount of money, you can look forward to potentially losing more income than you really want to. Just throwing it out there so you are not caught off guard. You are set at a monthly limit on how much you can make, and if you make over that limit, they will take more from you. For instance, if you only make $20, then you can only count on about $20 being taken out of your monthly benefits for that following month. And then if you're within your limit, you don't have to worry about it. But you still have the potential of having more taken out than just that 20. So just be aware of that. If you're not in the United States, click on no, and you'll have to deal with whatever possible taxes are in your country. I myself do not file taxes, so this is pretty much as far as you're going to get with me on this demonstration. You can click yes and go through, fill out your tax information, and publish your gig listing. I do not file taxes, and I've had enough issues with Social Security in the past with cutting off my income for months at a time. So, unfortunately, I was not in the mood to go in and fill out the tax information in Fiverr to go any further to show you the published gig, but that is the last step. Filling out that quick thing for your taxes for the W-9 form, which is for freelancers and contract workers. That way they know where to send the information at the end of the year for your tax information return and for you to be able to handle that. But once you're done with that, you can click on save and publish and you're good to go. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Please feel free to ask questions, drop a comment down below. If you're new here, please don't forget to give a thumbs up hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. And we'll see you on our Monday afternoon live streams. Thanks again for joining me. Hope you have a great day or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and we'll see you in the next episode.